Everyone in the family can see the countdown above Eli Nash, my brother, so we all know he dies the day he turns 16 years old. Thus, Eli becomes the most pampered person in the family. He gets all the good food, the latest limited edition sneakers, and even the bedtime stories from mom and dad. I feel very bad for him, yet I am jealous of all the love he receives. I finally make it to the eve of his 16th birthday, but mom and dad fear that I will cause trouble, so they lock me in a storage room while I am suffering from a high fever. I panic as I bang on the door. "Please let me out, Mom. I'm running a fever and my head hurts so badly." Mom snaps through gritted teeth. "That's enough, Ash. Eli is going to die tomorrow. Why can't you just put up with it?" I feel really sick though. I start losing consciousness as the sounds outside the door die down. My body went weightless. Looking through the weathered wooden door panel, I saw the warm light in the living room. Mom and Dad, Linda Mills and Frank Nash, sat close to Eli on the couch. Mom patted Eli's back. Dad kept his head lowered, shoulders trembling. Eli wore his only new tracksuit, pale blue with small star emblems embroidered on the chest. He looked pale under the light, his lips devoid of color. "Is Ash really fine, Mom and Dad?" he asked softly, his voice thick with a nasal tone. I heard him crying out that his head was hurting. "Leave him be," Dad said. Mom agreed. She caressed Eli's cheek, tucking away loose strands of hair. "Your father is right, Eli. He doesn't have a fever. He's just pretending to gain sympathy. You have only one day left until you—" Mom stopped mid-sentence, choking back a sob as her eyes welled up. "Look forward to your birthday tomorrow with peace of mind. Don't let him ruin your mood." Eli pursed his lips and remained silent, though his brows furrowed deeper. I knew he felt guilty. For as long as I could remember, all the family's affection had been poured into him. I had to stare longingly just to get a bite of bread pudding, let alone new sneakers or a basketball. Eli secretly slipped his snacks to me, swapped his large sneakers for a smaller size for me to wear, and stood up to protect me whenever Mom and Dad scolded me. "I'm sorry, Ash," he always said. "It's because of me that you've been mistreated." Mom and Dad didn't see it that way. Mom sighed, looking at Eli with tenderness and sorrow. "Stop defending him, Eli. That brat has been jealous since he was young and couldn't bear to see you doing well. Have you forgotten what happened on your 14th birthday? During Eli's 14th birthday, I fully grasped the truth that Eli would die. That day, Mom and Dad bought a cream cake, stuck with 14 slender candles. Mom lit the candles while Dad held the old camera, wanting to capture one of the few birthdays Eli would have. I hid behind the door and looked on, at the candlelight glowing on Eli's face, at him closing his eyes to make a wish, and at Mom and Dad desperately holding back tears. I rushed out. I didn't know what I was thinking. Maybe it was jealousy, or maybe I couldn't accept the reality that gentle Eli was going to leave. I overturned the cake with a single push, sending cream splattering across the floor, and candles rolling into the corner, where they quickly died out. "I don't want to see any of you celebrate Eli's birthday," I shrieked, acting like any irritating spoiled brat. I could still remember the way Mom and Dad looked at me. I didn't flinch when Dad's hand came down, repeatedly striking me. Mom cried nearby, though she never stepped in to stop him. Eli threw himself over to hug me, shielding me with his frail body. "Please don't hit Ash anymore, Dad." He shielded me tightly, his voice trembling. "It's all my fault. It's entirely my fault." That night, Eli sneaked into my bedroom to slip half a chocolate bar he had saved into my hand. He had a scratch on his wrist from the chair when he shielded me earlier. "I'm so sorry, Ash," he said. He carefully caressed my swollen cheek. "I'll be gone for good soon, so no one will be taking things from you anymore, Ash." In the living room, Mom touched Eli's face, tucking away loose strands of hair. "Leave him be, Eli," she said softly, her voice tinged with exhaustion. "You know very well that Brat has been jealous since he was young."